Okay, removing float bowl screws. The amount of strip float bowl screws in this world, it's a very high number because they're hard to get out and they strip very easily, the threads. So first you want to start out with a long screwdriver. The longer the screwdriver, the more leverage you have. So you start on a screw and you just apply a reasonable amount of pressure. If it doesn't come loose, it's probably going to strip. So then you move to a high quality screwdriver. This is a Craftsman screwdriver. You're going to be hitting it with a hammer. The cheaper screwdrivers, you'll probably break them immediately doing that. I've never broken a Craftsman, and if you do, you can just bring it in. Or if you have one that's already broken, just use the metal piece and clamp your vice grips onto it to twist. So you're putting in the screw and you're tapping on it with a hammer on top of the screwdriver, and at the same time you're twisting it. This also kind of makes the threads deeper and gives the screwdriver more to grab onto. So you just hit it at reasonable force where you think you're not going to break anything, and it should come loose. Sometimes it doesn't. You might strip your screw. Then you have to go to the vice grips. I don't have my good vice grips out here. Here's an example of a poorly designed vice grips. It should be totally flat, or have a large flat surface at the front of the vice grips. This one just has a tiny surface. It should look more like a pliers. A good pair of vice grips. Nothing weird going on with all this small surface and the bend. So you just put your vice grips on the screw, give it some good tension, and it should come out. So with those 3 techniques, you should be able to get your float bowls off. And if you're having leaky carburetors, it's not the float bowl seals, because they really don't do that much. It's either your float height is too low or your float needle is leaking. And the way to test your float needle is to put rubber bands across all your jets to hold the floats down, and then just attach a fuel line and fill it with fuel. And if your float needles are good, no fuel will enter the carb at all. That's how you can check your float needle. And don't put gasket sealer on your float bowls, because it's not fuel proof and it just makes a big mess out of everything. So don't screw up the bike for the next guy. Don't use gasket sealer at all when it's in contact with fuel, because it's not fuel proof. Alright.